All right, guys, back for another episode of the Filmaholic. Tonight, we're talking about the big news, and that's the Oscar nominations that came out this morning. We're going to be breaking down the bigger categories, sort of the ones that we brought up last time in our video of who we thought should be nominated. We're going to bring these categories up again, let you guys know who was nominated if you don't know already, and then give our thoughts about it, whether we like them, whether we don't like them, and just overall thoughts. Okay, so the first category that I want to get into is going to be cinematography. The films that were nominated this year for cinematography were The Irishman, Joker, The Lighthouse, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I want to start off by saying that for the most part, this is a very solid category. Most of these films on here deserve to be nominated. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood definitely deserves it. Cinematography was fantastic. Robert Richardson always gives us beautiful things to look at in a Tarantino film. 1917 is probably going to win the Oscar for Best Cinematography, coming from Roger Deakins. Watch that film this weekend. Cinematography is beautiful. It's astonishing. And then we got The Lighthouse, which I'm glad was nominated. Didn't really like the film that much, but the cinematography was fantastic. You got Joker. Once again, didn't like the film. Cinematography was one of the highlights of that film. And then finally, we got The Irishman. Personally, this is the only film in this category that I wouldn't have nominated, but I'm not upset that it was nominated. What are your thoughts, Phil?
This is gonna be some biasism here, but the guy's a fellow countryman, so I'm just happy he got a nomination. He's not gonna win the damn thing, but because it's gonna go to 1917. I was honestly a bit, well, not a bit surprised, but I was like one of those like, okay, I see you. Once upon a time, you got nominated. But yeah, I don't know. Like I agree with most of them. I have nothing against it.
Yeah.
I think that's just one part where everyone can go like, okay, all right. No rioting yet.
I think we can both agree that 1917 is going to win this, right?
Yeah, it's gonna win it.
Like, there's no even like really up. It's not up in the air. It's 1917 is guaranteed to win.
I mean, they probably have the war ready for them already. They probably shipped it out.
You want to pick what category we do next?
You know what? We were just talking about it earlier. Animated feature.
The what?
Animated feature.
Animated feature. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for animated feature film, we have Toy Story 4, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Missing Link, and Claws. So, I want to say, to start off, there are two films in this category I have not seen. I have not seen Lost My Body, and I have not seen Claws. Abel, I know you're really passionate about Claws. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that?
This is like my Costa Rica, man. Like they're pulling off like a fucking magical run, like Costa Rica making it to the quarterfinals in the World Cup kind of thing. Do I want them to win? Fuck yes, man. Like yes, because like I think most of the people that worked on this film are ex Disney employees, and they're going up against the mouse. But like I really wanted to win, like not just because it was a really good movie, but also just because like you don't see that kind of animation very much. It's very rare to see that also like on the big screen. So like I wanted it to win, but I just think it's gonna go to Toy Story, which I really wouldn't have a problem, to be honest. But I really want Claus to win it. I really do.
I really want Toy Story 4 to win. It was one of my favorite films of this year. I think it's perfect, and I think it is going to win at the Academy Awards. Now it needs to be pointed out that Missing Link won the Golden Globe, but as we can tell, from other categories that we're about to get into, Golden Globes don't always predict what's going to happen at the Oscars. I think Toy Story 4 is going to win. It is something to point out, though, in this category, Frozen 2 wasn't nominated.
Which I was okay with, by the way.
I mean, I was too. Frozen 2 wasn't that good. It was okay. It wasn't bad. But it shouldn't have been nominated, and it wasn't. But I'm surprised.
Probably make you gotta send that check in.
The next category we're going to talk about is going to be actress in a supporting role. Okay. So the nominees are Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit, Margot Robbie for Bombshell, and finally Florence Pugh for Little Women. Once again, this is a pretty, not as much as cinematography, but this is a pretty solid category. Margot Robbie should have been nominated. I don't think she should have been nominated for Bombshell. I think it should have been for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I'm not upset that she was nominated for Bombshell. Florence Pugh should win in this category for Little Women. Her performance was extremely good. Scarlett Johansson also should have been nominated for this category. Her performance in JoJo was the standout in the film, one of the standouts of the year. Both her and Florence Pugh have, one of the best years in film in 2019. I think them, as well as Shia LaBeouf and Adam Driver, like the best like actors of 2019. Laura Dern, we knew this was going to happen. She's probably going to win the Best Supporting Actress. I don't know why, but she's probably going to win. And Kathy Bates, that was the only one that kind of like surprised me from this category, was Kathy Bates was nominated. Now, she was nominated for the Golden Globe, but it didn't really seem like she was going to be nominated.
Yeah, you see that? I was correct. I just missed one, but I was correct.
One, okay.
So yeah, so you owe me a case of Dew.
Okay.
You know what? Forget the Dew. I want a case of LaCroix. I want my basic. You know what?
You get Baja Blast, and you'll like it.
You know what? Oh, up the price. I want to be a basic bitch. Give me White Claw.
How do you feel about this category?
I missed one, my guy. I missed one, so I am perfectly fine. The Kathy Bates one, that kind of threw me off guard. Yeah. I was like that Mr. Krabs meme. I was like, whoa, what just happened here?
And to be fair, I can't really talk that much about Kathy Bates and whether or not she should have been nominated, because I haven't seen Richard Jewell yet. I didn't really think I needed to, because I didn't think it was going to get nominated for anything. So kind of surprised that it did. But I am going to check it out before the Oscars so I can give my valid opinion on her.
I don't know, maybe.
Any snubs, you think?
Hell, I don't know. I kind of want to say J-Lo, but I don't know. Like, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. I think it's just like I'm happy with it,
Yeah.
But I want Scarlett Johansson to win this one,
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy with Scarlett Johansson winning, but I think Florence Pugh gave the better performance. I would go with her.
Florence Pugh, she's
personally, I would switch out, probably Kathy Bates, but I haven't seen it, so I could also say Laura Dern. I think Thomasin McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit should have been nominated as well. Just coming off my head, and Rebecca Ferguson for Dr. Sleep. One of the best horror performances we've seen in recent years.
Okay, enough of this fake cigarette stuff.
All right, so the next category is going to be actor in a supporting role. And we have Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, Anthony Hopkins for The Two Poops, for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now, I think me and you both are very passionate about this category. There's one clear winner, and he better win, and that's Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, dude, I am honestly scared about this. Like, you don't know how I'm scared about this.
I'm scared because it's like it's the category I'm most passionate about, and it's the opening awards. So like, if Brad Pitt doesn't win, this is going to ruin the whole night of watching this award show. But I really can't see. I'm honest. Like, all of these were pretty locked, except Anthony Hopkins. Kind of surprised he got in there for the Two Popes,
Now we gotta watch
which I
this.
also haven't seen.
Now we gotta watch
it. I'll watch it now because he was nominated. But it looks boring as shit. But I'll watch it. Tom Hanks gave a really good performance. I personally wouldn't have nominated him for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, but I can see why he was nominated. The same goes for Joe Pesci. Probably wouldn't have nominated him, but I can see why he was nominated. The only two people that I really think deserved it in this category is Brad Pitt and Al Pacino. Al Pacino would be my second choice to win. But the thing is, while I'm not scared, the reason why I'm not scared of him beating Brad Pitt is you have Pesci in this category for the same film. So I feel like the votes are going to be split between Pacino and Pesci, which is going to solidify Pitt's win in this category.
Look, this is not shitty movie making Al Pacino for the last couple of years. This is not Joe Home Alone, Pesci. Like, this is Irishman, my guy. Like, Brad Pitt, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I already had a heart attack when they were like, what was it, Joe Pesci? And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. If they don't say Brad Pitt, I'm about to throw my phone at the wall. I'm about to smoke a cigarette. I'm gonna buy a whole entire pound of cheesecake. I was about a heart attack, man. Like, a fifth spot, like, it did my boy wrong.
I do want to shout out somebody who should have been nominated in this category, and I think, like I said, I don't know if I would have taken Hopkins out because I haven't seen that film, so I'm going to say that I probably would have taken out Tom Hanks and replaced him with Kang Ho Song for Parasite. He played the father in Parasite. Incredible performance, and he was really snubbed this year, and it's really unfortunate, but as Pesci would say, it is what it is. Any more thoughts on that category?
I honestly don't give a shit. I mean, Brad Pitt. I want Brad Pitt to win.
Brad Pitt's going to win, so it doesn't really matter who else is nominated in this category.
I mean, shit. Like, me, you can get nominated. I'll be like, nah. Give the votes to him. Like, I'll probably get another chance, but give it to him.
So the next category we're going to be talking about is directing. The nominees are Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes, 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Now, most of these, I'm going to say, 3 of these 100% deserve to be in this category. The other 2 I wouldn't have put in this category, but I knew that Scorsese was going to get nominated. Like, okay, let me again say that. I wouldn't have put Todd Phillips and Martin Scorsese in this category. I knew that Martin Scorsese was going to get nominated because he's Martin Scorsese. Unless the movie he puts out is like complete dog shit, the movie's going to get nominated. He's going to get nominated because it's him, and the Academy loves him. That's just the way it is. It's not fair, but it is the way it is. That's like I feel honestly, other than Pacino, most of the Irishman's recognition and awards this year are based on it being a Scorsese film and like the people involved. That's why I don't think it's going to win much of any awards because it really doesn't deserve it. That's how I feel about it. Todd Phillips, though, is the most, I think, undeserving in this category. I definitely wouldn't have nominated him for director. I was kind of surprised he got in at the Academy Awards. I thought it would just be a Golden Globe thing for popularity, but he makes it in an Academy. Surprised. I would have taken both of him and Scorsese out and replaced them with James Mangold and Greta Gerwig for Ford versus Ferrari and Little Women. But what's your thoughts?
But kids, take this as a lesson. Like I always preach, what Tarantino and logic does. You can copy a lot of things, but as long as you make it your own, you might probably get nominated for an Oscar. So, keep that in mind, children, and maybe one day you can be like Todd Phillips. Oh, seriously though, I'm cool with Todd Phillips getting a nomination. I think I said like, and I told you that he was going to get nominated, even if we didn't want to. He was going to get nominated. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel kind of like I don't know. I didn't like the movie, but it's just one of those like, yeah, the directing was fine, so okay, so, okay, all right. You win, and I'm gonna turn off the TV and go to bed. But
yeah,
Mendes is gonna win this.
I agree. He's gonna win.
Bro, he has his speech ready and everything.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a lock that he's gonna win this one. So the next category that we're going to be talking about is Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are The Two Poops, Little Women, Joker, The Irishman, and Jojo Rabbit. Okay, most of these aren't that big a surprise. I think, I knew that Jojo, Irishman, Little Women were all going to get nominated, and they all should get nominated. I think we kind of knew that Joker was going to get nominated too. I don't think it should have, but I kind of felt like it was going to. And Two Popes being nominated, I don't know. Can't really say much about it. So,
all right, look, man. I watch sports all my life. I'm not a betting man myself here, but you know what I think is going to happen?
What?
All right, Joker's going to win that, and 1917. I know we hadn't hit that category yet, but 1917 is going to hit Best Picture.
I don't agree, but we'll see.
I don't know, man. I mean, personally, I want Jojo Rabbit to win adapted screenplay. That's just me.
I think Jojo Rabbit is the most deserving. It definitely should.
Joker's gonna win it.
I think Little Women's winning this category. And I think it's going to make up for her being snubbed for her directing category.
I don't know, man. The Academy's gonna be like, well, Joker got snubbed for Best Picture. Let's give it that to screenplay.
We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so now we move on to. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay. Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are Parasite, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, and Knives Out. Now, the biggest surprise for me here is that Knives Out got the nomination. I'm glad that it did. I think it deserved it, but I'm surprised that it happened.
I told you.
I personally don't think 1917 really should have made it in this category. It was a really good film, and it deserves most of the nominations that it's gotten for all the other categories, and the ones that we're going to talk about in a minute. But screenplay, I think there were better films, better stories and written film that could have been nominated instead of 1917. Booksmart. I think the screenplay for Booksmart was better than the screenplay for 1917. Because you got to take, with 1917, you got to take all the other factors into the film. Is ultimately what makes it, with the cinematography, the directing, the acting, all of that versus the actual story. Personally, glad Parasite got that nomination. Once Upon a Time obviously I think is the best in the category, and I think it hands down is going to win Best Original Screenplay. Tarantino's about to get himself another Oscar. Uh, Marriage Story would be my second choice to win, but I just don't think it's happening. I actually think, unfortunately, Marriage Story is not going to get as much recognition as far as awards go than I thought was going to happen.
Because it's a Netflix movie.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit when we get to some of these other major categories that I'm really kind of disappointed about. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the 5 nominees. You got any more thoughts?
Not really. I think Once Upon a Time is going to win that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to actor in a leading role. The nominees are Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes.
Oh, now you said it right.
Well, the joke was getting old, but yeah, I don't know about Jonathan Pryce's performance, but I can't imagine me putting him in my personal picks. Adam Driver is 100% the most deserving in this category. He should win the fucking Oscar. Probably one of, if not the best performance of 2019 in Marriage Story. But I don't think he's going to win. I don't. And this didn't change until recently, but I think Joaquin's winning it for Joker. I didn't really think the Academy would nominate or would like award somebody 2 times for playing the same character, but I think it's going to happen this year. And also really glad Leo got in because his performance is really underrated for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but he was overshined by Brad Pitt in the film because Brad Pitt's just really great. Antonio Banderas got in. Once again, probably wouldn't have nominated him if that was up to me. But I'm not mad that he was not put in.
Claro que sí. Estoy muy feliz en mi nominación. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm right with you. Joaquin Phoenix is gonna get it, and you're gonna have like, I'm okay. I'm just gonna flat out say it. If we get a dislike, but like, I think, well, not like though. I mean, like, I guess you could say like mainstream audiences, like the ones that don't keep up like movies like you and I. Except
Yeah.
I've been slacking just because I've been working a lot. But he's gonna win it. And also, like, people are gonna go like, "Oh, he played a complex character that had like mental issues," which is, um, it's a pretty dark place to portray a character like that. Like, and look what it done to Heath Ledger. Like, the role literally killed him.
I don't agree with that, but I know a lot of people say that.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just, I don't know. I think it mostly just because like I mostly think it's because he was trying to take restrictions so he can go to bed because like most of the scenes were filmed at night. That's just what I think.
You're talking about Heath Ledger and his. Well, you also got to fact. There's other factors with Heath Ledger, with his marriage and his own, personal,
personal life,
personal health problems. Yeah, mental state at the time.
But he's gonna win it. Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor, if not one of the best actors of our generation. Well, he is one of the best actors of our generation. What the hell I'm talking about? He's gonna win it, but like, I don't know. I'd rather see Adam Driver just take it, man. Like, for you to like take a script and still like follow it is like, it's impressive. Especially like acting, you kind of improvise here and there, and like sometimes you look for those natural moments. But like, it was a script that was like written like a step 1, step 2 kind of script, but like it didn't feel like it when you watch the performances, and I just think it's really hard to play that on screen. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I want Adam Driver to win it really bad, but if Joaquin Phoenix wins it, honestly, I wouldn't even be that mad because like I just love his work. I really do, and I think he's
I'm not gonna.
useful.
I'm not gonna be as mad if he wins it over Driver than I would be if like Brad Pitt lost to somebody, but because Joaquin give a really good performance in the film.
Oh, he did.
Um, Despite me not liking the overall film, he gave it his all in that, and I appreciate that. It just wasn't for me. Um, so I do think he probably deserves to get nominated. He doesn't deserve to win. His performance wasn't better than Adam Driver. That's just how I feel about that.
Now, if Marriage Story never happened, or if it got released probably later this year, then yeah, Joaquin Phoenix will walk away with it.
That would be your personal choice outside of Marriage
Yeah,
Story?
yeah. Like if Marriage Story got released later on, then yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. But like, man, like that,
I still think Leo's performance in Once Upon a Time was better than Joaquin's in Joker.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
His performance is more flashy, but
I mean, well, oh man, like, oh well, yeah. You know what? I agree with you. Just because, like, I guess he took. You can see he took some things from Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight.
he did. I'm sure he took stuff from other people too, other Joker performances, he has a whole comic book selection to look at too. And I'm not saying he just looked at those comics and did that. He made it his own, but he had stuff to look at. Leo created this character, like gave it all like the different mannerisms and different stuff. I don't know. The performance clicked better for me than Joaquin's did. And it
But
also is because we've already seen a Joker too on the big screen. We have seen it several times on the big screen, and we've seen a better performance of the Joker on the big screen, in my opinion. Heath Ledger's performance was miles better than Joaquin's performance, and he won the Academy Award. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that has a factor in it too.
do you want me to tell you the only way a Joker performance like that will ever be topped, or might be at least equal to, like legitimately equal to, like not life scale, like him, like whoever that person is going to be in Heath Ledger. Do you want me to tell you this how that it could possibly happen?
Yeah.
Like how things can possibly happen. That person has to go to a super dark, deep end and like in their mind for them to go into that.
You want to make a prediction about who's going to play Joker in the Robert Pattinson trilogy? I know this is off topic, but I want to go. I was thinking about this the other day.
I want to go for some. Honestly, I don't know.
No predictions?
I have none.
I think it's gonna. My prediction right now would be Lakeith Stanfield as Joker.
Yeah, he can do anything. To be honest, literally, he can literally play anything.
Because he's a pretty good actor.
Pretty good.
And like I think Joker has to be in this Pattinson trilogy. I think Joker always has to be at some point in a Batman narrative. Like it doesn't have to be in the first film, but at some point, if he's making a trilogy, Joker needs to be there. And I don't think that you're going to have the Joker. How do you make the Joker different moving forward? Like you got to make it. If it's just visually looking different than what we've already had, I think Stanfield's going to be a good choice, and he's matches the age as Pattinson too.
But we'll find out.
All right. Next category is actress in a leading role. The nominees are Renee Zellweger for Judy, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, and Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. I'm going to have to watch Harriet now since she was nominated. It was actually a movie I wanted to see, but it just came out in a time that, I had just moved and whatnot, and I was, I didn't get a chance to go watch it. Scarlett Johansson is my choice to win. Like we were talking about earlier, amazing year for her. She's hands down, incredible in this film, and hands down the lead to win. I think, in my opinion, she's not the lead to win in the category. Renee Zellweger is going to actually win in the category, which I don't understand. I watched that movie, and her performance was fine. I'm not going to say she shouldn't have been nominated for the category, but she definitely shouldn't win. It was fine. Charlize Theron, glad she was nominated. Thought she was a standout in Bombshell, but I feel like a lot of the reasons she's nominated is because of the makeup, making her look just like Megyn Kelly. I think Nicole Kidman actually gave the best performance in that film and wasn't nominated. Saoirse Ronan, once again, definitely deserves to be in this category. Gave a really good performance in Little Women, like she always does. I'm glad she got that nomination.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about this. Like, Awkwafina, man. Like,
I'm really surprised that she wasn't nominated.
now I'm just going to get this out of Lupita didn't. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve, but she has no right to be in this. Consideration, maybe, but in the top 5, hell no. All right.
You know my feelings about it too. I don't think it was a good performance at all. Lupita's performance in Us. Don't think it was solely her issue. I think it was it was a bunch of other factors moving in. Jordan Peele's direction and everything. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. She shouldn't have been nominated.
No. Like, this is one thing you and I we talked about it, and we're going to say it again. She is a phenomenal actress. She will get nominated for something again, but not for this, and not for us. Not for us.
Not for us.
No pun intended, but
and hopefully too, maybe stop doing so many. Not that she's done like a lot, but Lupita doesn't have that many films under her belt, like as far as like live action performances, and a lot of them are motion capture performances or animated performances. You got Jungle Book and Star Wars, which she was in 3 times. I want to see her take some more roles where she's playing herself and a drama maybe or something like that. I'm interested in seeing what she does next.
This woman acted her ass off with Michael Fassbender, and you know how I feel about Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Like she, like when she got that Oscar, like it was just like, okay, well, you got it right there. Like, I'm pretty sure no one was against that. I wasn't against that.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the clear choice to win, but like
definitely clear.
Yeah, like that year she was the clear choice to win, especially like for me, like Jared Leto was that clear choice at the time.
Yeah.
But man, like, I don't know, like, I just want to I'm just gonna put something subtle, just to make something we don't get fucking a flag or something. But like, if you're gonna say that she deserved a nomination, it's just like that nomination is just like, have you seen other movies? Not saying that she was the worst actress or anything, but there were other performances better than that. And
100%.
Like for me, Awkwafina, she was 10 times better than what Lupita was in Us, and she got snubbed. I personally haven't seen Harriet, but I honestly would have replaced her for someone else, probably like Awkwafina. Then with the J-Lo thing, I really can't say anything just because It's going. I mean, I'm going to see the movie probably before the Oscars start, which I might probably do it like the last minute. But it's just like,
I also think I want to throw out that Anna de Armas was kind of snubbed for this category for Knives Out. I knew that she wasn't going to get nominated because I feel like other than screenplay, the Academy doesn't look at Knives Out like an Academy film, right? Which is kind of a shame. I thought her performance was really good, and I really hope they don't snub her again this upcoming year with Blonde. But I would have taken out Renee Zellweger or Charlize Theron because not talking about Harriet because I haven't seen that film, but I definitely would have taken out both of them and replaced them with Anna de Armas.
I mean, heck, you could have thrown in one of the girls from Booksmart.
I don't think I would have went that far.
I mean, I would have. I mean, fuck it. You could have thrown Margot Robbie as like leading actress from Once Upon a Time.
That would have been supporting, which like I said, I think that she should have been nominated for Once Upon a Time instead of Bombshell.
But I don't know. Like I'm gonna pick Scarlett Johansson to win that. That's.
I also think Sienna Miller was really overlooked this year for American Woman, which no one watched. Probably no one even knows what I'm talking about when they're watching this video. But it was a really good film, really good performance. But it's not, when you watch and this is a thing too that a lot of people don't understand is when the Oscars, these awards are supposed to be for the performance. It's supposed to be who gave the best performance. Not looking like many outside factors, who gave the best performance, what was the better film, all of this different stuff. And it's not always when, I'm saying that, but it's not always that case. And there's other factors in too, like political stuff, like people campaign for these awards. Studios campaign to get people or their films nominated. And if a certain film has one film that they feel more passionate about, they're going to push that one film heavier in the categories, and they're going to push the other films. That's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, but
I mean, it's just like a lot of movies. There's a lot of workers in the union, and that happen that are in the part of the academy. There are a lot of movies that come out in a year, and there are a lot of countries in the world, and they got to narrow it down to 5 fucking people.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a super like a boomer here, but it's just like that's just how life is sometimes. Like Jake Gyllenhaal, he didn't get nominated for his performance in Nightcrawler. He got snubbed for that. Daniel Brühl didn't get nominated for his performance in Rush. I think he got snubbed for that.
Yeah.
Like it's a pattern. It's going to continue even after me and you are gone from this world.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's other outside factors. It's not just who had the best performance. It should be just that, but it's also it's other things, studios, whatever else. I mean,
this is also
that's what I'm saying with Scorsese. It's like it's Scorsese. He's going to get the nominations.
Now, probably if there's people that enter the academy, like us, let's say me and you enter 20 years, then probably our generation could probably change the game. How the whole entire process goes.
Maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of that talk too, but honestly, a lot of people, the academy has been changing the past few years. There's been a lot of new people that have been pushed into the academy, and and this is. I mean, but you got to look at too. Just because all these new people are pushed in doesn't mean the older people are pushed out. So now it's just more people, I guess. I think that's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, and also one thing is like actors or whatever kind of profession you do, sports or anything, you don't need I mean, we may be pissed off in the moment, Well, like you don't need an award or a championship to solidify your career, because you have like that's why fans are there for. Like like let's say like Tom Brady's case. Like I grew up hating the guy, but there's no denying he is the best NFL player, quarterback of all time. That just is just like awards can say one thing, but then in the day, it's up for us. Like movies are
Yeah.
going to live up forever.
Um, and that goes to another actor who was snubbed in the leading actor category, and that's Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems.
I'm actually kind of sad he. Oh, I'm just sad he didn't get nominated because I want to see what kind of outfit he's going to wear that night.
Now, I didn't love Uncut Gems. I liked Uncut Gems. The ending lost me. I didn't care for the ending, but his performance was great in that film. He should have been nominated hands down, but he wasn't. You know, and
I think
you
it's
know,
most like the cat. I think they were just pissed off. Like, so this motherfucker can act, huh?
and let's take a doing a brief look here. Like I said, it's about studios. Look at the same studio who put out Uncut Gems and The Farewell.
A24.
A24 is a smaller studio. It's harder for A24 to compete with the likes of WB or Warner Brothers, or as I just said with the WB, Sony, whoever, Universal. I know they put out Little Women. Even Netflix now is becoming a juggernaut. And A24 has a lot of films at this point, but it's still a relatively new company, and I'm sure it has a less of a budget than these other films.
I mean, they're working like Jason Blum, only $5, no more, no less.
But it is fair to say that they have had a film win Best Picture, though, A24. I mean, Moonlight won a couple of years ago. That is worth noting. But I feel like there was reason to push that film more than maybe some of these other films. I feel like they had a better chance at pushing that film in different categories than they do with the films they had this year. Because while I think those films should have been nominated, I don't think they would have gotten a win. I mean, Sandler definitely wasn't getting a win for Uncut Gems. I think he should have been nominated, and I don't think Aquafina would have won in that category either for the Oscars. But
I just hope he does more good movies. You know what I mean? Because if I see the Happy Madison Productions, I'm gonna walk out and ask for a refund.
Well, do you have any other categories you want to talk about before we get to the big one? We're almost at an hour here.
You know what? No, we can do a separate video for that.
All right. Now we're to Best Picture. And the nominees are Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Parasite, Joker, Little Women, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What do you think?
Remember that scene from 1917 when the guy was just running from the fucking bombs? That's gonna be them with the Oscar. They're gonna win it.
I don't think 1917's, but I think that there's three films that have a chance of winning this. Okay, but I'm overall I'm happy with all of the nominations for this category, except maybe The Irishman. I would have taken Irishman out and replaced it with something else. Glad Ford versus Ferrari got in there. Don't know why James Mangold was snubbed. Really glad Jojo Rabbit got in there. Actually, I was wrong. I lied when I said that about most of them. Joker, I don't think should have gotten there either. Little Women, glad it got in there. Marriage Story, definitely should have gotten there. 1917 should have gotten there. Parasite should have gotten there. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood should have gotten there. I think at the end of the day, it's down between 3 films to win, though. And that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, and Joker. Originally, I thought that it was just going to be between Once Upon a Time and 1917, both of which won awards at the Golden Globes. The Critics' Choice Award happened last night, and I believe that Once Upon a Time won in that. Obviously, that's what I want to win, and I will stand by that I think it is going to win, which if it does, in my opinion, it's the first film since the 2008 Oscars for the 2007 films to win that deserved it, and that was No Country for Old Men. 1917 I can see winning as well. Very good film. A lot of people like it. It's being pushed heavily. But the outside choice I do think is the Joker. That could win.
Most likely win.
I had my friend point out today that if you look back at the past films that have won Best Picture, they have always been nominated for film editing as well. Let's go to that category. Most of the films that win for Best Picture also have been nominated for film editing. There's only like 2 times that hasn't happened. And when you look at film editing, the films that were nominated this year were Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite.
Oh no! I am gonna be right.
Which means 1917. If that stays true to the tradition, Once Upon a Time in 1917 wouldn't win. Parasite's definitely not going to win the Best Picture. I would love to see. I would out of those options, I would go with Jojo Rabbit, but I don't think it's going to happen either. I don't think The Irishman is going to happen, and Ford versus Ferrari definitely isn't going to happen. Look at Joker. I can see like people like the Academy going, let's like finally give a comic book film like an award, And you look at all the other categories that it's nominated for, as far as director, cinematography, actor. I don't know. I think there's a very good outside chance that Joker is going to take the Best Picture home. You need a moment?
Just give me a moment.
Now,
that is blasphemy, man. That is just blasphemy. That is just blasphemy.
I don't know which films it was or what years, but there has been at least 2 times in the past that the tradition was broken. So let's hope that the tradition is broken this year as well. But
I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody. Didn't Bohemian Rhapsody won for best editing, something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't watch the Oscars last year. It was the first time in many years I didn't watch the Oscars.
Are you going to turn off the TV if the Joker wins?
Am I going to turn it off? I mean, it doesn't matter at that point. It's the last film, last category at the Oscars. So I have to turn the TV off anyways.
No, but like when they say like you just like turn it off. Like you don't let them like finish it. You just go like and you turn it off.
Maybe.
Or what if like Brad Pitt doesn't get it? What about Brad Pitt doesn't get it?
Honestly, if Brad Pitt doesn't win, I might just turn it off and not even watch it. Just look at the recaps later and then do another video for you guys.
Man, you go talk on the TV with a bottle of Jack Daniels, a cigarette. Like you're like
I feel confident that he is going to win that category though.
Like your poster's all crooked and everything.
The two awards that I care about the most that I want to see is Brad Pitt, #1, win for Best Supporting Actor, and #2, Tarantino win for Original Screenplay. If I can get those two, I'll be happy.
I'll be happy with Brad Pitt itself. And Adam Driver.
Adam Driver's not going to happen, though. I know it's upsetting, but I don't think it's happening anymore.
Adam
It'd
Driver's
also be very, very good, pleasant surprise if Florence Pugh won for Little Women, but I think Laura Dern's got that locked.
And Sarah Pugh, Pugh is gonna walk in with her man sack breath and like with the red carpet and everything.
Oh, forgot about that. But yeah, I hope that Once Upon a Time wins, and I think it is going to be Once Upon a Time. But I think there's an outside chance that Joker will win. And that's pretty much all my thoughts from the nominations today, unless you have anything else to add. I think most of the stuff that were nominated deserved it. There's some that I would have switched out. I think overall, I do want to add something that there needs to be more representation in Hollywood, but that goes for roles. When people are being cast in these roles, when these films are getting made, at that level, we need more representation, and that's important. But as far as the Oscar goes, there was a couple of situations that I was upset about, but I think overall the awards were fair this year.
Yeah. And as you can tell, one of all my three uncles took a back seat, so so they can make it a fair fight this year. But we will be back in the game next year, hopefully.
Do they have any big films coming out next year? Do they have any films coming out?
I think Del Toro is having one with Bradley Cooper next year. I mean, this year, I think. By December, I think. It's going to be like a horror film, but like we have not.
I don't know. I don't see anything on his. You're talking about Nightmare Alley.
I think so, yeah.
It's in pre-production. It's got a whole cast. So it might come out this year. It just doesn't have a release date yet.
I think it might probably come out around November, or if not October.
I hope so. It'll be 3 years since he's put out a film, and the last film won Best Picture. So,
it's gonna be like it's gonna be like another 3 years till we see Alfonso do something. They like Alejandro probably next year. Probably next year he should come out with something.
Probably.
Because I know he's been working on some documentary in Mexico lately, so.
It would be nice to see Alfonso do a Star Wars film.
It will be nice. But it's going to be that dang contract. It's going to be a turnoff for him, though.
One film. He's only got to do one film.
Yeah, Mickey doesn't do that.
They do with Star Wars, apparently.
Unless they fuck up his version of The Last Jedi, then yeah.
All right, guys.
Oh, get the fuck out.
That's our episode tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.